Polenta was staying at Scott's house. He goes up to Brady Street. He's drinking with Leslie. He comes to Scott's house. Scott has the door open. And he's looking for snacks. And he eats the dog food cookies.
There's a whole jar of dog treats that sort of look like cookies when if you're drunk.
Yeah, he's probably like, fucking Americans, this shit sucks.
Because you could see that he just reached in there and he must have just stuffed his mouth full. It was probably like...
It tastes like liver.
But then in the sink, the whole bottom of the sink was just covered in like... And he probably like rinsed his mouth out because like when I got there...
It's just all stuck in his teeth.
Yeah.
Ugh.
When I got there the next day, it was like just this like sodden crust in the bottom of the sink, just covered in. Like he must have really tried to eat a lot of them.
That's really good.
In sodden crust?
Those are good.
Damn.
Those are good.
I think I saw in sodden crust open up for butt trumpet.
At ABC No Rio back in those days.
Yeah, matinee in New York City.
It's got a little flavor to it, a little kind of like
no, those are really great,
watermelon
right?
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Light though, it's not like a super sugary.
And those are no booze, right?
No calories.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Look at the thing. Look at the little calories.
It's like it's an easy ballast when you're at the bar and you don't want to get fucked up.
Mm-hmm. And I've also learned that it's okay to switch to something besides beer. By the way, we're not recording. We're just doing a sound check. How are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, we're recording, but
It's
not the meat and potatoes.
I'm gonna try 0 beers or hoppy things and mushrooms, and see if that works.
Well, what does work mean?
Get me to the point where alcohol gets me.
Where is that?
I'm not quite sure yet.
Wait, did we get a mushroom T-shirt for?
We have one designed.
Really?
I don't have one. I don't know if we print one.
Because I think that would be a hot seller.
You want that?
Yeah.
Let me send a.
See how this works?
Just send a thing.
Phones in pockets. Otherwise, they rattle on the table. Unless yours is on.
Yeah.
Is yours on silent?
Should be.
Yeah.
Better be.
Yeah. That's the time when they're calling from work. Terry.
No, that phone didn't car.
Yeah.
Well, it was. And so was your window.
I was kind of wondering about that around here.
No, it's fine around here.
I do have.
I've never had any problems around here.
Yeah, so it must be fine.
Yeah.
Been here a long time and only had one gunfight.
Boring.
When
Really?
we were here.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that between you and...
No, unfortunately, it was the neighbors.
Shooting at each other?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
the neighbors?
Broad daylight.
No way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were out there shooting. Logan, Carlos. I can't remember who else was there, but they're over in the back parking lot over here shooting the panhead. Pop, 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 pop. The guy comes running out of the house, takes a bank up here. Josiah and Jonah both see him take off and chasing each other down the alley.
Just
shooting
at each other as they're running? No way.
This was recently.
Running and gunning?
Yeah, month and a half ago. Josiah saw a guy in Hampton get shot up on a drive-by.
No way.
Pulled up at the stoplight and opened up on him.
Dang.
Yeah, shit's
That's
serious
rough for
over
a
here.
small kid, or a kid from a small town.
Yeah,
Big kid from a small town.
yeah.
Well, let's focus on some positives here. I feel a little bit of negative energy here. And let's focus on the positives. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this is the 26th episode of the Mama Tried Flat Out Friday podcast.
Really? All right.
27.
27. Hey.
All right.
And before we get to talk with our guest today, we like to do a little housekeeping.
Introduce everyone first. We've been bad about that.
We've been bad about introducing everybody.
Yourselves. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right. Because
assume no
yeah,
one- assume
yeah.
This is the first time someone's
Got it.
Right,
Let's redo that intro.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if you know this or not, but it's the 27th podcast of the Mama Tried Flat Out Friday podcast. Let's clap it up again, people.
All
Clap
right.
it up.
All right.
Okay.
Consistency is key. I
Let's
think
keep this the energy positive here.
it's not something
My
we're
name
good
is
at.
Jeremy Prock. When I speak, I'm speaking for Flat Out Friday, and I have some other people here. I want you to introduce yourself.
My name's Warren. I'm from Mama Tried Show and Flat Out Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. How about what you doing here, sir? What's your name?
My name's storied Vestal, and I was invited here to have a little get-together talk.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
Hooligan racer.
Yes.
Flat track racer.
Flat track
extraordinaire.
racer.
Yeah.
How long you been? Wait, are we getting
No,
right into it?
no,
We're doing
no.
the
Focus. Who are you? That was the
My
only
name-
question.
My name is Scott. I mean, do I need
My
an introduction?
name-
Yes, you do.
Look at this face. My name's Scott Johnson, everybody,
Okay. Thanks for coming.
from Mama Tried Show.
Thanks for joining us,
Let's
Scott.
hold on to
Thank
Terry
you.
Vestal because per tradition we do a little housekeeping.
This is true.
Okay. And,
Yeah.
This is true.
There's
Sorry, Terry.
there's a lot of information that's going out right now for Flat Out Friday. Those of you that are hanging on information, there'll be an email going out this week letting you know our ride-in times, our load-in times, everything you need to know to take a flat track race that's being put in an NBA arena, and understand that many parts don't always fit.
Yeah.
And
I
so-
feel like we've gotten pretty good at massaging and polishing.
Yes, there's always something though that is a rub that's difficult for us to manage. So there's no parking at that lot this year.
Yeah, sure.
That's the thing that we need to discuss
For racers.
for racers.
The racer parking is that huge gravel lot that they've traditionally always had has kind of been erased. Or it's about to be a construction site. Yeah.
Hopefully some.
So we have a plan for that. And just real quick, don't fear, we have some parking spots available. You'll be loading out like you're dropping your kids off at college, and that's how you'll unload your stuff, and then you have to go to an auxiliary parking lot. We have two. Two are within walking distance, and I haven't told you guys this, but we have a third. I secured parking at the Harley-Davidson Museum,
Oh, nice.
and I hired Mark Martinich to drive people back and forth.
It's
In the sloppy jalopy.
in his
the lawnmower van.
In the lawnmower van. All right.
There may or may not
Let's
be
put some
lawnmowers
benches in the
there.
trailer. How about that?
Roll out
Like a
smelling
hayride.
like two-stroke.
We'll do a hayride from the Harley-Davidson Museum. It's probably a mile. Is it a mile?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that far.
It's not that far. So you'll be okay with Martinich
That's pretty great.
in his van, right?
It's-
so there's a little.
That's part of the Milwaukee experience.
All in the family.
Let's
Yeah, that's
think of it
unique.
as fun. But
Right?
just imagine that, though. I get it. I'm being empathetic when I imagine if you're a racer coming from Hartford, and you're driving into the town and you unload all your stuff, and now someone's yelling at you to go park, and you don't know where to park. And then you park at the Harley-Davidson Museum, and then Martinich rolls up in his van and says, "Get
Come
in the
with
bag." And then you have
Here's
to
a
ride.
blindfold.
Yeah. You have to ride back to the arena. That can be vexing, and there is going to be some anxiety with that. But you can see it. It'll be fun. Trust us with those little details. So a rider email is coming. That's what I wanted you to know, and there'll be a lot of information in there to get you set to come into the city of Milwaukee. That's really the only housekeeping that I have from the Flat Out Friday side. What do you guys got going on over there with Mama Tried? Tell me what you got going on.
We had a great meeting with the Rave last
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
We really love those guys. Not just guys, but it's a great crew over there. They're really putting a lot of effort into marketing our show, which is great.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of radio ads. So if I've heard it, I'm sure that a lot of other people have heard it, and quality ones too, like lengthy. It's pretty awesome.
All right. Well, they could be ours. We don't know.
You are
I would
marketing
know.
manager, yeah.
Well, I heard it 2 weeks ago, and surely yours
Okay,
hasn't
that's
started
not
yet.
no. Then our start this week.
Yeah.
So
So we,
nice job.
you know, they're packing it on, right, layering over what we have going on, and our ads are starting to run now, or a couple weeks, or what's going on?
They start next week.
We're seeing an increase in ticket sales. Thank you. That really helps. I don't know. I don't want to say pad the coffers because the coffers are pretty small, but any money coming in really helps leading up
Really
to that.
helps.
'Cause you have a lot of bills that have to get paid, including those marketing things. So
Before
thank you
the
for
show
that.
even opens, yeah.
Yeah. The merch is going good. Ticket sales are going good. It's just kind of steadily climbing. And having control over that stuff this year is exciting to watch and see how it works and if it's even viable, or who knows.
Yeah. But there's some neat developments. We're really excited about the Danger Dan podcast stage, which is we ran it last year, and it was in the Rave Bar for anyone who was there last year. this year, Danger Dan is going to be the MC and main panelist, interviewing everyone, and that's going to be pretty great. And it's going to be on. This is cool. It's going to be on the second floor on the balcony, overlooking the floor, the show.
Yeah, last year wasn't too appeasing.
No, it wasn't.
like-
it was cool, but
You had to get stuck down there all
Yeah.
day though, in a basement of a cave of a bar. and
yeah,
I
which
think
is-
it's going to add for a lot more
it's
fun.
going to look really cool.
Yeah.
And they're going to build stuff so that not only are the guests up high, so that you behind the guests you can see everything, but the cameras and everything will be up even higher, so the where the way it gets shot will be down towards the floor. So I think it's going to look really cool.
Yeah, the backdrop's going to be great.
Yeah, super great.
Has he picked guests, or are you guys picking guests?
Guests are,
Guests
I would
are
say
pretty
90%.
Yeah,
yeah, it was a good mix of all ranges and walks of life, so that'll be fun. And keep watching Dan to, like, biting my fingernails and make sure he
I know he's
stays
gonna be
safe
back in
down
the
there
country,
in South
yeah.
America.
exactly.
Hold on to Danger Dan 1 second. I'm going to come back to him because Danger Dan is important. In my notes, I did forget to mention that there is also a boonie bike race leading up to the events. Do you
The
guys
World
know about
Series
these?
of Boonie Bikes, right?
Well,
Yeah, the Boonie Bike World Series.
Yeah,
is-
working on
that's what
the,
we call it in the industry.
We're working on a trophy for that, me and Wayne.
Oh,
I haven't seen a poster yet, so we're just going to wing it.
okay, it's coming.
Poster's coming.
All right.
Well, let me volley this back to you. You got sponsors coming?
For the Boonie Bike World
We're
Series?
following
it
Not
back.
that specifically, but we have good sponsors coming through, and we'll slap some on there and give them some credit.
I'm just kidding. But there is a boonie bike race, and it starts the Valentine's Day, the Tuesday. We've extended the weekend this way. Tuesdays at Promises, Wednesdays at Elwood's, Thursdays at the Harley Davidson Museum, Friday at the Pfizer, and Saturday at the Iron Horse Hotel.
So wait, you're saying that Flat Out Friday and Mama Tried Lovers Night is being added to the schedule?
Careful.
In the world's
Someone's getting
smallest flat track race or flat
In the world's smallest flat track race, or world's
Venue?
smallest racetrack.
Yeah.
The world's smallest indoor racetrack is Tuesday the 14th. Come check that out. Terry Vestal, do you know who Danger Dan is?
See that guy that was on the snowmobile?
Nope.
No, but no.
Close.
Wait,
Close.
wait, who's the the
Larry
snowmobile?
Enticer.
Yeah.
Larry Enticer.
Yeah.
Larry. Yeah.
Good guess. Good guess. Danger Dan is I don't know what he is. He's a unique individual. He's got a great personality.
He's got a great
very
podcast.
Very charismatic. He's got a great podcast. But here's what's interesting, or I think why this is important, or what he's doing right now when Scott and Warren mentioned about him being safe. He's riding his motorcycle from
Yes,
Texas
Harley Davidson Pan America.
Pan American.
to
Pan-American.
Antarctica, basically.
yeah.
Well, no, he's
Well,
riding to the southern tip of
to the tip
South
of
Yeah, well,
Argentina.
Patagonia.
Whether or not he gets on that boat is irrelevant.
I believe he's on it now, isn't he? Didn't he did it already. He made it to the tip. He's on his way back.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
really?
Uh huh.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
So
So
he
isn't
w-
it? There's like that stainless ball thing, right? Like the big giant pin. And I saw that on his feed the other day.
What?
I assume that that's like the. It's like the. This is where you're at in the world.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's
okay.
like a monument.
Got it.
That
Yeah.
was
so he
2
made
days
it.
ago, I think.
Tierra del Fuego, or what's the name of that town?
No
That's-
idea.
Is it
Yeah.
Chile?
Geography is not my.
I thought it was Argentina, but maybe it is Chile.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he's coming back 'cause he's on a boat.
It's also cold there.
Super cold.
Okay. But stay focused. Terry Vestal, you don't know who Danger Dan is. That was the question.
No.
Anyway, so that's why he's interesting. He's riding a Pan Am. And by the way, I don't want to steal his thunder. He'll tell you his own story. And I wouldn't do his story justice because he tells it really well.
Yeah.
He has this kind of voice. This is Danger Dan.
He's
got a little
just-
southern.
Man, he's got a way about him with
Yeah.
people and the way that he interacts with everyone. He's the kind of guy that will go outside, smoke a cigarette, and make 10 new friends instantly. There's no.
Yeah.
He's like.
And they'll just
big
and they'll-
teddy bear kinda guy.
And they'll follow him around for the rest of the night. Like,
Yeah.
hey, these 10 friends I just met outside. Let's all hang out.
Yeah.
They're coming along too.
Yeah, he's really good at that. I'm
Yeah.
envious of his social skills.
Yeah, he's great. And we got to go to Texas to meet. Got to go to Dallas and meet his family, and hang
Yeah.
out with them on the farm. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's coming up. That episode's getting released pretty soon, next week I think.
Mhm.
For the fans out there, what day is it?
What day? It's
Yeah, for
today?
right now it
Right
is
now?
January 24th. Yeah, so
Okay, what does that have to do with
Well, just
anything?
because chronologically,
Okay,
we
guys.
recorded that
Got
episode
it.
a month ago.
Got it, okay.
2 months ago. So,
Well, let's stay linear here with our friend here, Terry Vestal.
yeah.
Terry Vestal, you live close to here to Milwaukee. You're from Kenosha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yep.
roughly an hour.
Yeah. And let me jump right in with my first question. Something I've never asked you personally, and all the times that we've hung out or been together. You were a pro.
Yeah.
Can you start that
Pro Flat Tracker.
a pro flat tracker? Yeah. Can you just tell us that journey?
Yeah. As soon as I turned 16, we got my license and
Your pro license.
my pro license.
How long? When did you start flat tracking?
Oh God.
You can be roundabout. It's like, just guess. I do the same thing. We're talking 10, 6, 8,
12.
9?
Years?
Yeah.
Old. Years old.
Años.
How old am I now?
How old were you when you
Was that
started? Yeah.
16.
6.
You had to be 16.
No,
now.
when you first started
No,
racing?
when you first started racing.
Oh, when I started racing?
Yeah.
5.
There you go. So you had 11 years under your belt before you got the pro card. And you couldn't get a pro card until you're 16.
Yep.
What size motorcycle did they have when you were 5 years old?
I actually started on 65s.
Yeah. Did they have a 65 then?
Yeah.
Clutch
yeah,
or automatic?
Really?
And they had a 65 class.
Yeah.
And you were racing against other 65s. In
65,
Wisconsin?
85. Then we just, as I progressed and got older, we ran every class that AMA had. That's how I was brought up.
With your dad?
Yeah.
Was he flat tracker?
Yeah.
Cool.
He was back in the day.
A pro or just amateur or?
Back in the day, they called them amateurs, but they were the pro side.
They were running around making money and
Oh, yeah.
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 Kind of like from Azzy, the royal family over there, Al.
Sumners.
Similar
Yeah.
to Al, kind of running around all over the country, just
Yeah.
flying by the seat of his pants. and
You could
making some
race,
money.
yeah, you could race for money like 5 nights a week, and even the state of Wisconsin back then, right?
Yeah, we
So popular.
we usually started on Wednesday night and might not have anything Thursday unless you went to a fair race or some kind of big race like that. Then you'd go hit one on Friday. Then you'd find one on Saturday. Then you'd definitely find one on Sunday.
Really?
So,
All different locations.
Wild. That's
Wow.
crazy. And was it the same group of people that were just pilgrimaging around, or is this that
no,
many people?
because I pretty much traveled. We were in Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa. We've went out to Oklahoma, Texas. I mean,
Yeah, you're all over the place.
So
Yeah.
was you as a child with your father, or
Yes.
you? But
Yeah.
your father was racing, or you were racing?
No,
Or-
no. When he was still racing and we were coming up, he always made the point that when you guys start beating me, he goes, I'm hanging it up.
Okay.
And we started beating him, and he,
When?
oh, God, we're probably on 85s, you know.
Really?
That's always the question is watching them 85s out there. Like, those guys are going
I
faster
should
than
take
us
that back.
right now.
We were on 80s. They didn't have 85s then. They were 80s.
When you say
So-
we, who's we? We were on 85
God,
beating
we-
my dad. Was you and your friends, or you have a brother?
Yeah, my brother, he was 5 years older, so he was kind of like 2 more classes above me, usually all the time. But no, we got to make a lot of friends throughout the country traveling, and so
What was that like? Were you sleeping in the van?
you know where
You're-
I really like to sleep the most?
Yeah.
In a horse stall.
Really?
Go pile up the straw, throw
Yeah.
your sleeping bag down, and that was best bed around.
And there was plenty of those at the fairgrounds where you would race and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we did it.
That's great.
Cool.
Pretty
Well,
awesome
let's,
upbringing.
Let's start at 16 and go forward, and then let's come back and do 16 backwards if we can. So 16, you get a pro card. So you had proven yourself on a 125. You'd proven yourself as an amateur.
You're probably on a 250 by then.
Okay.
And then the state that you're from, the referee gives the yes or no if you can proceed. And
Like, you
That's-
could go out there and race safely with other.
yeah,
Gotcha.
Yep, your ability.
And at
They-
that time, they had the novice class.
Yeah.
And you ran a novice For how long?
Novice for 2 years. It took me to make all my points.
On a what?
On a 250, I started. We had Bultacos, we had Yamahas, and then we finally ended up running a Suzuki.
Mhm.
So
What kind of Suzuki? Two-stroke,
it was an
four-stroke?
RM 250. Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
So early motocross bikes converted to flat track,
Yes.
similar to what's
Yep.
going on
In a
now.
frame or DTX?
No, this one here. Back then, you could basically call this a DTX, because it had an up pipe, and it was a stock motocross frame,
Okay.
but had the suspension done, the
Okay.
wheels were changed.
All right.
So, and that was for a dealer right out of Milwaukee here. So,
What was that?
remember Brothers 3?
Kind of remember that.
It's a Serbian restaurant.
I think you're thinking of Three Brothers, the Serbian restaurant in Bayview, but yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
We were with them for a few years.
All right.
So-
What year was that? So that was the probably late
God.
70s?
No, that'd be in the early 80s,
Okay.
right in there.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
So you said you had to get points to be the next level, which was what?
that was a junior.
Or junior.
Yeah.
And now what's changed to when you were a junior?
There we were running 500s, and then once I proved myself on that, then we ended up getting a ride on a XR, and then
And you were in the top level
no, this was
No?
as a junior.
as a junior. Okay.
Yeah, we had to run restrictor plates and that. So it was basically a expert bike with restrictor plates.
Were there a lot of XR 750 swimming around back
Oh,
then?
yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just everywhere?
Yeah,
Really?
a lot of guys had them.
Huh.
So
And if you didn't have an XR 750, what would you be running?
it'd probably be a Triumph, you know.
Okay.
So
And that's all this track's short, mile. You're
Yeah,
all over the
Half
place.
mile
yeah,
TTs
So-
running the same bike.
yeah, I watered the XR up on Peoria.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
That wasn't a pretty sight.
Oh, shit. Really?
I couldn't imagine crashing at that speed.
So
On the jump?
yeah, it was going up the jump.
Really?
Somehow the back end kicked out, they said, and I just went ass over tea kettle. And
Knocked out? Is that why you don't remember?
yeah,
Yeah.
but then I got my bearings back, and we jumped on the 500, and then we went and qualified for the main.
All
So
Nice.
Did you move up from a junior?
no, junior was as far as I got. I hurt my knee for the second time, and that's when I pretty much said that's it.
How old were you when you said that's it?
I don't know, middle 20s maybe.
Okay. Because I kind of knew a little bit of that, but here's my question. There was something I've never asked you. From the middle 20s to your age now of 40, what were you doing? You know,
Yeah, I went and did a bunch of semi-pro races.
as
you know.
on flat track.
Is this?
Yeah.
Are you talking? Are you full time or are you working during the week and during the
Yeah,
day?
I'm back doing a full-time job. and,
Sure.
You know, then we just hit races that we can. And
Yep.
That work allows us to take. And
Sure.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
but
Did you have a job, like the jobs that you had, where they were mostly pretty good about letting you take off 3-day weekends?
yeah, almost everybody's been great about it.
Yeah.
You know, any place I've been there, like, all right, as long as you get your stuff done,
What do you do?
take off. I'm a heavy equipment mechanic, construction.
Sure.
So,
You work in the field or in the shop?
I wanted to stay in the shop, but they talked me into going in the truck again. So I went back in the truck now and
So you're picking up, delivering, hauling, fixing, or just fixing?
just fixing.
So you're on like a big, massive truck with crane and welder and
Yep, I got everything but a hose machine on it.
Uh-huh.
So
cool.
And how far do you traveling?
Right now it's local. I mean, we're
You
close.
said
We're
that.
home every night.
You said
good.
that. You said I'll come back to this job, but I need to stay home.
Yeah.
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 Because you were out
Yeah, the last place I was
Pennsylvania,
at,
and you were, yeah.
I was basically four corners of the country traveling.
Wow, that's a lot.
No time at home.
Yeah.
So,
Well, so you quit your full-time junior AMA pro license.
yep.
And then you just started to pick and choose over the next 10, 20 years, just local.
Yep. And then I got hurt really bad down in a race in Illinois, and
What was the
then
track?
this was down in Pecatonica, Illinois, and I got hurt really bad, and that's when I totally gave up the two wheels. Then I jumped in running modifieds, stock cars.
Okay. So hang
Oh,
on a second.
really?
You don't just jump into a modified. You have to know someone. You have got to build one. You have to get one. How does that happen?
We ended up getting to know a guy, and he had a couple of modifieds laying around, and we bought one from him, and we just kind of went through it, rebuilt it, and
And you were racing where? What tracks?
Wilmot, and then Wilmot Speedway by the house.
Yeah.
And we went and did a couple of races up in
Did
Escanaba,
you,
Michigan.
did you race a guy named Jeremy Prock at all?
No, mine
No?
was an open wheel car.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Modifieds were the next class. From
Oh, it was
my
well above
class.
your-
They were the next class up, and I had some success in the Hales Wales, and the stock street car. Minimum wheelbase of 128 inches was my requirement, so it had to be Monte Carlo, an Impala,
okay.
Cutlass.
That's why they call them the whales, Big
Yes,
Daddies.
Yes, actually, yeah, it was a Cutlass. Anyway, it's not, we don't want to talk about.
No,
me.
wait. Let's talk about when you got hurt in Pecatonica.
Yeah.
What year was that? What happened?
That'd get pretty fucking hurt to stop.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what year that was, but
Ish.
it was a Buzz Simmons race. I'm going to say late 80s.
Okay.
Buzz Simmons is a what? A promoter?
Yes, they did the Badger Racing Series. They ran Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa.
Is this where they did car tracks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
car tracks and fairgrounds. So,
And how many people would they have show up at those races? It was still pretty popular back then.
oh
right?
yeah. There was a lot of pros that go there, and I don't know if you'd say cherry pick, but they'd make some traveling money.
Okay.
So,
Everything paid out, or just the pro
Yeah.
classes paid out? Yeah.
yep, pretty much everything paid out at them. So,
And what happened to you?
but no, we were leading a heat race, and I don't know. They said the clutch must have blew up on the bike, and a guy come between me and the wall, and took my handlebars out, and then I just went right over the handlebars, and it broke the chin strap on the helmet, and it ground this side, my head in the dirt, and when they all come running looking for me, I already walked around, and I was headed back to the van, and once I got my bearings together, then we kind of gathered the bike up and put it in the van, and me and the wife, we took off.
Oh, really?
She still don't know how I drove home, but
Well, you drove home.
yeah,
Oh, shit.
I always do.
God.
You didn't even know your own name at that point, or
Probably not.
No.
No.
Oh, shit, Terry.
Yeah, I'm saying.
And
I don't
So
know what to
wait-
say about that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm,
and
I
it's
was
like,
say I'm
but
sorry.
it was bad enough that it drove you to just stop.
Yeah, when you break a helmet like that, and people, that's what they see going down the tractor, they almost think your head's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Did it take?
Yeah.
Were you like on the way home? Well, you probably didn't remember shit from that ride, but how soon did it take you to be like, I'm not? After you're trying to like scrape the dirt out of your ear, or if your ear was
packed
left.
full. It was packed full. No, it was pretty much on the way home. I was,
Yeah.
You're
How's
just like, I
life?
can't do
I'm
this
done.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was my fault, but yet when they tore the bike apart, they said the clutch looked destroyed, and they figured that's what happened. And
It just hicked up for a second, and the guy at second place caught you.
Yeah. It freewheeled and then it went.
yeah,
I was about to try to do a pass on the outside, and you just kept going straight, and that was it.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Fuck.
All right.
And that's when I said enough's enough, and then I could say
You're in a modified.
we started playing with four wheelers, and then
How long did that last?
That lasted probably 3-4 years. I mean, we had one car. I didn't like it because I couldn't understand the suspension on it. So then we built another one, and then we started doing good with that. And then some buddies of mine, they talked me into doing some woods riding. And so I went and bought a what the heck was it, KDX 200, 250.
Yeah, good bike for
And,
woods.
Those are great bikes.
Went woods riding, and there the two wheels started again.
It's got the bug again, yeah.
You can try to run, Terry. They'll find you.
I know it,
Yeah.
but
So woods riding just for the fun of it.
yeah,
Yeah. Not
And-
competitive.
And we did that a lot.
Mhm.
So
Locally, you traveled.
we went to some parks in Illinois, but yeah, otherwise we'd travel to. We've been to Maryland, over there, Cumberland, Maryland, and we rode what they called private trails over there, and up in the mountains, and then we did a big trip with Scott out to Utah. That was a blast. And I don't know how many days
That was a
was.
long time. That was a long time ago. Holy
yeah.
shit.
It was a group of us too.
10 years, 20 years? What? How long ago was this?
15 years, 10,
More
15 years, yeah.
20,
Yeah,
I'd
really?
say.
Holy shit. Was that the time when the ranger came into camp
Oh,
and
yeah.
made us dig up all the shit? Dig up all of our poop?
Yep.
And then what?
Well, we all came riding back from we drove out there. We had like what 4 or 5 rigs parked in this camp spot,
Yep.
and we went out for the day and rode back. We had just climbed off our bikes and the guy pulled in. And he wasn't super uncool, but it was like that. It was the first year that they were really enforcing portable toilets. Before that, it was just not really a thing. And so when we drove out there, and all these signs said portable toilets needed, or portable toilets required, we were like, well, I don't know. so we got up in the morning, made coffee, did our thing out in the out in the desert, and then got our gear on and took a ride, and we're gone all day. We just rode back in, and the guy pulls in, and he was like, guys, where's your portable toilet? We were all just like, well, it's like and he's like, I know you don't have. He's like, I'm just gonna stop you right there. I know you don't have one. I saw all your tracks out into the desert. I saw all your footprints. I know where all your cat holes are.
Yep.
So grab the shovel, get some plastic bags, and go dig it back up. And he was very diplomatic about it, and we were like, okay, fair enough, so we did. And then we came back, and we came back, we got all the bags. He's like, great, thanks a lot for thanks for being cool. And he's like, in fact, since you guys were so understanding and cool about it, I'm only going to give 1 ticket to the whole group. And he's like, who's the guy from Colorado? It was Mike. And he's like, because you should know better. And he pointed at him, and so and the ticket was like $580 or something.
Damn.
For
Yeah.
pooping in the desert.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
So we were pretty lucky. And then we all laughed. And then he was like, kind of lowered his guard, and he's like, and the other thing is, he's like, any of you guys packing? And some guys are like, and he's just like, well, at least you didn't just draw on me when I came driving in, because that's like a thing I'm always afraid of when I'm approaching a group of motorcyclists this big. So
Really?
thanks for that. Yeah.
Damn.
And this was still, it wasn't, I mean, that was, I can't even imagine how much different that atmosphere must be today.
Why would
than
you
it
pull-
was
like-
back then?
People just pull guns out on Rangers is
Evidently. So
interesting.
Well, so had you been, so we're talking about year 2000, right? So you had modified race,
Yeah.
woods riding.
Yeah.
You're on the year 2000. You're still woods riding. Are you flat tracking at that time?
I wasn't, but then then the super motard thing started,
Mm-hmm.
and
Alberta Road America.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I bought a couple of KTM's that were from the dealership that were coming from overseas, set up for motard, and I bought 2 of them, and actually no, I started on a DRZ. I take that back. On a Suzuki. Rode the, I can't remember what class that was. It was not like the beginner class, but you had to run stock wheels, stock suspension,
Sure.
but you could run some kind of road race tire. So we won a couple of championships with that. And then I moved up to the next level. And that was a
That was
was a
fun.
good
That was
trip.
like Glenn Curtis was running that series. Yeah, that was fun.
Glenn and Ann.
Yep,
So
that was cool.
that was all up at Elkhart Lake. And
Mm-hmm.
went and did a few races with that down in Illinois. And so we had some good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd take them bikes, put some 19-inch wheels on them, and go do a TT. And or I'd run the 17s with reins and just go do a race.
And you hit the AMA flat track local races?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. So,
Damn.
You slowly worked back to it.
yeah, yeah,
Took you 20 years.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew where once I got back on one, I wasn't going to quit again. And
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that you would ever stop doing it, Terry.
yeah, I did it for, well, I quit for a few years. And,
Crazy.
yeah.
Is that when we first met? Was before that, or was it? Did we first meet when we went on that trip to Utah, or like around that time?
I think we knew each other
Before
that,
right?
but that was the first big
Okay.
bike trip that
Trip
everybody
together,
took together.
I heard
So-
about that trip. You don't have to kill this rumor. Let this rumor actually flower a little bit. That you had beer in your camel pack.
I'll do it any trail ride we do. You carry a minimum of 12 packs. Yeah. You never leave your mess behind. I mean, you pick up your garbage, and so
So
So you just fill it. Just leave the beer cans in camp, right? Just fill up the Camelback before
no,
you
I
leave.
we
Yeah.
just cans in
Just
the
gra-
back.
Yeah. All right. All right.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, like a champagne shower every time you open one up.
They're not too bad. You just don't want to fall on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you started flat tracking locally, and then how did you get to? Because I think there was a bridge before you got to being racing hooligans. Wasn't there a little bit of a vintage series you were doing there in the middle?
Yeah, a good buddy of mine was riding these KRs, and he got hurt at 1.5 local half miles real bad. And he talked a bike owner into letting me ride one for him.
Who was that?
And that was Freddie Pettis.
All right.
And I'll tell you what, I kept telling him guys, I go, I'm just a fill-in, and I'm just a fill-in. And the first time I rode one was at Davenport, Iowa, at that half mile.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, these bikes have no brakes. And I go in the corner and I just about ass packed the guys in front. And I'm like, why are you going so slow? You know? And it took off from there. We went and traveled the country. We ran the Vintage National Series. We won 2 titles with that. Freddie also built what they call a hot rod multi-cylinder, which is it's a 1200 Sportster, iron Sportster. It's actually a copycat of Harley's 900 that they used to use for TTs. And if you didn't know the difference, you'd swear they were identical.
Mm-hmm.
And we traveled the country with that, and we won a ton of races on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
yeah,
that-
we
is
did
that
that
like-
for a few years.
Are you still riding
great.
that one? Is that the XLR looking
Yes,
thing?
Yeah.
Man, there's nothing cooler than the sound of that motorcycle.
Yeah. So it's been parked for a while. I mean, I haven't. Last time I ridden it, I'm trying to remember. I don't know if that was at the local Azzy track or not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I kind of backed off of that and went to
Moved into the
hooligan.
hooligan, yeah.
You know, I got my own bikes and
So that's the final chapter for now. To hooligan.
Most
So
modern
how do
chapter.
you-
Before Hooligans started.
How do you get into hooligan racing?
it's all because of you.
I'm not,
You starting this Flat Out Friday stuff, and
So Flat Out Friday in 2016 was your first hooligan race?
yeah, yep.
I didn't know that.
I borrowed the bike from Pete Pulaski, and
Pete Plosky was he was like well, he was Tony Giorno's dad's sort of
Best buddy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he drove the Harley race vans around,
he,
right?
yeah, when Harley had a full blown team, he ran the transport truck all over the country for him, hauling the bikes and that. And
So you had one of those bikes? Where did this hooligan bike come from?
it was actually a 883 from the AMA series when they had theirs.
The
And-
road race series.
No, they
No,
had a
this
flat
is they
track
had the
series.
dirt
Oh,
track
really?
series. Yep. And Pete had it, and I asked him if I could borrow it to do Flat Out. And I think I borrowed it one more time for the next year, and then I asked him if I could buy it from him. He made a price that I couldn't refuse. And
You still have this bike?
yeah,
And before that, you were riding other folks' bikes. You were hired gun,
pretty much.
right?
yeah.
Now you're your own. You're an owner, team owner.
I have my own stuff, and then Jeff Rydell down at Ukes Harley, he's been helping me fix some stuff on mine. And then I keep looking at his bike sitting on the bench, and I keep looking at the stuff he's got, and I'm like, man, that looks cool, you know? He's like, why don't you try this thing? I tried it, and we ended up winning on it the first time we went out. And he's like, I take it you like it. I go, yeah. He goes, take it and run it.
You say that so lightly, Terry. Like everybody expects you to win every time. You know, it's like watching you out there is pretty magical.
It
It is true.
It seems like everybody expects me to do great, and I try to tell everybody, I go, you can't win everything,
Sure,
you know?
sure.
I have shit days just like everybody
Yeah.
else, and
I don't know, man. Like I haven't been flat tracking very long, but you know, certain folks stand out at the track. You know, and watching you out there, one riding and the way that you do ride is beautiful. You know, and then just on the bikes that you're riding is even cooler because I like the WRs and the KRs and XLRs. And then the best part is when you come in, like when I didn't know who you were, you come into the pits and you pop your helmet off, grab a beer and a cigarette. I'm like, holy shit. It's like another level, you know, it's like pretty cool.
Old school style.
no,
Yeah.
I love to have fun.
Yeah.
That's
It's pretty clear.
you know, that's how I want to keep it. I ain't gonna lie, yeah, I do get pissed off sometimes. I get frustrated, but I think that's just
That's what makes you good.
The
I don't get
competition side,
I don't
I
get
guess.
mad, right? So I'm not gonna ever be good. I don't care enough to get mad, you know. But that's just the way that's just who I am, you know. And you have
you're
that
having
next
fun.
yeah you have that next level of push and drive that's gonna take you to the next level. You're gonna focus more than I would or a guy like me would, and it's
Well,
pretty cool to see.
You get mad and upset, but just not in this arena of racing.
Sure.
There's things that you are mad and upset about. You're maybe a little bit more passionate about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you know, if I go out and do shitty on a race, I'm not gonna be like,
Sure.
I don't care.
Sure, but the point is, though, Terry, you have a level of talent. You know, I've learned this too over the years. You can really see the personality of someone when they're racing. If everybody was wearing the same, I could pick out Terry Vestal. I
Yeah.
could pick out Dave Kilkenny. I could pick out my son. I could pick out a few people, but I can. Your style, I can't describe it in words, but it is.
I think I could
Yeah.
pick you out by sound. I don't even think I need to see it.
Yeah, you're always the last to let off. That's for sure.
yeah.
You got that competitive spirit, and
I mean,
you
I
know,
still hate taking second, but you know, the next thing that's in my head is I got to take it super serious, because if I don't, where I want to end up, and if I don't take it serious, I'm going to end up
Yeah.
like I did down in Daytona and lay in a hospital for 5 days.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hold
right.
on to that story.
Yeah.
So another thing about your style is you're just known to be a clean racer. Is that fair too?
Yeah,
You're
I
known
mean-
to be a nice guy. I've seen you come really close, but never being dirty. I've never seen anybody utter your word in a negative light. That's a
I mean,
congratulations.
I've rubbed handlebars. I mean, but it's one of them deals that if you're that close, that you're gonna rub something.
Sure.
So,
Yeah. Especially at Flat Out Friday when it's so small.
Yeah.
You have to at Flat Out
Yeah.
Friday, right?
Yeah.
Like if you want to win, you gotta.
but to just go and slam some guy, no.
Sure.
No,
Yeah.
it's because I'll probably be the one that gets the worst of it. You know. So.
So tell me your thoughts on the hooligan movement. You know, what inspired you to get involved at
Well,
that
like,
time?
like I said, with Flat Out, and then what the heck was it? Rolling Sand started all that stuff, and
Yeah, super hooligan.
yeah, and we followed that for a little bit. Then you guys got the X Games started, and I don't know. I just kind of got hooked, and you know, everybody that I've met. I mean, there's a couple that, yeah, they seem like they're better than you, but I mean, everybody from that hooligan family, they treat you like family.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
if you break something, if they got it, here, use it.
Right.
So,
I was with you in Des Moines over New Year's, and I saw you give your shocks to someone, right?
yeah,
Didn't even question it.
no,
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see him ride too. You know, I don't
Yeah.
want to see him ride and get hurt because his shocks are all blown out. You know,
Were the
So-
shocks blown out?
Huh?
Were his shocks blown out? I don't
Or
remember.
his were gone.
Yeah.
She was doing the.
So we paused the time about you went to Daytona to Bike Week, and Roland Sands had done an event before the AFT race,
Yes.
and you got hurt. It
Yeah.
was like a small track, and it was kind of seemingly a tiny little crash, and you got hurt. I don't know, the worst of your life, I suppose.
Yeah, as long as I laid in the hospital, I'll tell you that.
Tell me about the accident. Why did you go down?
Well, we won our heat race against Joe Kopp.
I love how
and-
you always say "we," by the way, because to me that shows the humility that you realize that your motorcycle racing is a team.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
there's
It's a
always
team
somebody
effort.
You've
helping
never
me.
said "I," and I really appreciate that. But I'm sorry.
No.
Go ahead.
But yeah, we beat Joe Kopp, and then I can't think of his name, the one with the KTM.
Travis Pastrana.
Well, we beat him too, but
Okay.
no, the other guy. He's road racing now,
Debrino?
Debrino.
Andy.
Yeah.
and we beat them, and so that put a feather in my hat. And then for the main, I got a terrible start, and after the first lap, coming into the corner, and I thought I could bully my way through. And while I hit the guy on the side, it put me over the handlebars, and when I flopped, concussion, broken collarbone, all the ribs on the right side, and they said I had a punctured lung, which I still don't believe them, but so I
you were
laid
bu-
there for a while.
You were by yourself,
Yeah.
even though you say "we." You were still by yourself.
Yep. I was down there traveling by myself.
And who packed up your gear and
Jeremy DeReuter, he helped. I think Jesse Janish in Red, they helped.
What year was that?
So-
Is that 2018?
That was one of the AFT races
2019.
where,
Yeah, that's when they were doing the TT.
It was the TT, right?
like out on
Yeah.
the front straight, or
I think that was the first TT they did.
Yeah.
No, I think it was the second
Was it?
or third, because I think we had done two prior,
Okay.
and then Roland did his.
Yeah. So,
Well, I'm sorry that you got hurt, but to let the Terry Vestal legend grow, besides putting a 12-pack in your bag, you drove home from Daytona with all of your ribs broken.
yeah.
They packed your
Yeah,
stuff up and just drove it to the hospital and just said,
Yeah, they
here's the keys.
the guys took the bikes home, but they put all my gear and stuff in the back of the pickup, and they brought the keys up, and then when I got ready to leave, or when they were turning me loose, they wouldn't turn me loose by myself. So I'm like, the hell with you? I can walk out of here anytime I want. no, somebody's got to come and get you. So call the buddies. A buddy of mine, his kid came over, took me out, drove me down the end of the parking lot, got me in my truck, and I took off and started driving. So
shit.
You stop at a hotel, you do it straight?
nope, it's just stop for fuel, and otherwise I'd pull off at the interstate and take a cat nap, and you keep going. So
Painful.
I mean, no, actually, when I sat in that pickup, I was like, God, this is like sitting on a feather
Really?
compared to being in that hospital bed
Sure,
in that
sure.
chair there.
Really?
I'm like, that place sucked.
Till you had to get out and take a piss and get gas.
Yeah, the hardest thing though, not getting in and out of the truck, it was trying to do the seatbelt because you got to do that little twist. That was the only thing that hurt. Once I just jam it.
Then
Did
you're
you
good to go.
A little reminder that
All right.
Nice.
So one more thing on this in modern times, if you will, because I want to go back just a little bit. So tell me about this hooligan movement, this hooligan renaissance. What do you think about this? Where's your place in this
Yeah.
history here?
And where do you think it's headed? What do you think of the?
I really don't know if it's hit the plateau yet. I think it's real close.
You think it's still growing?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the one series we run now. They got they have an East Coast, Southern, and a Midwest,
And a West.
Now they have a West Coast.
Mhm.
So that's still growing.
The GNHC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The Hooligan Championship Series, and I don't know if it's going to grow anymore, but I think it's right there.
What does growth mean? You know what I mean? What's your measure of growth? Number of bikes that show up, number of people in the stands.
I can kind of tell that because I'll travel the country. I mean, I won't just stay local. I'll see new faces. It might only be one guy. It might be two guys. Then all of a sudden you go somewhere and there's 3 or 4 new bikes that just showed up. And it's like, holy crap, you know. And a lot of it is people just see it for the first time.
yeah, that's what's cool about the hooligan thing, right?
Yeah.
It's accessible to the average Joe.
You're like,
That's
I
the
got
whole
one
point.
of those, or my buddy's got one of those.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
they come over and talk to you and you go, I'll tell you what, if you just put a set of wheels and a set of handlebars on the thing, you can come and have fun with us anywhere.
What a great
So-
way to start racing too. You know, ease like that. A pretty cheap and easy way to get in and then get introduced to all the folks in that world. And
Yeah.
it's like a big pillow like your truck, right? You kind of just land into it and bounce around for a while and have some fun and learn something and make some friends.
I mean, you can spend, I'm going to just say it, you can spend $1 million
Yeah.
or you can spend 100
Yeah.
and still have the same amount of fun.
Mhm.
So I think that's where a lot of people
Yeah.
see it. So
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
See all the little businesses popping up around it and
Mm-hmm.
all the little shops that are, you know, like them parts that DeReuter's making and JJ. And it's just wholesome and cool and fun. And I kind of feel like the epicenter of the hooligan thing is wrapped around Milwaukee or like the Midwest.
yeah.
You know, and kind of carrying the flag, and, like the Stoke, is cool. It's proud to see that.
Sure. I remember I gave a riders meeting one time because I could feel the tension between California and the Midwest. and,
Yeah.
and if I could be objective about it, the California people were like, "Hey, we started this. This is only popular because of us." And when I'm not even debating it, let's
Yeah.
just say that to be
That's true. It is true.
That
Yeah.
we kind of garnered the spotlight. Who are you to kind of ride on our coattails? And then the Midwest people were like, "Wait a minute. We've been doing this 883 series for years. We've had these hooligans, and we're just damn good flat trackers." You know,
That's-
who
well,
are
that's
you
the
to
thing,
get
is like-
paid to do it.
The Midwest folks aren't gonna boast and pound the chest. They're gonna prove it on the racetrack, and that's very frustrating to somebody that is boastful and loud. Right? It's just like, you know, here, watch this.
Sure. So I think the California movement has dried up.
Right.
since they're onto something else cool.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. Everyone in California went to road racing.
I think COVID hit and things shut down.
Uh,
and
They had some
people-
tracks
a lot
shut
of them
down
now are
too.
taking their Harleys and making them
Bag of
desert
racing.
rats.
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many
The
fast
Biltmore
guys out there. I
races,
mean,
yeah, the Mint.
the hooligan guys on the West Coast are fast as hell. Just just seems like there's another outlet or another way to go. They're just kind of
Sure.
bouncing around more than the folks in the Midwest.
Which makes sense. I mean, if we had as much public land as they have out there, I'm sure we'd have one foot in that world too.
And when we were just talking about flat trackers or hooligan riders and fast people, I can name the hooligan racers, and they're superstars in my own head more than even pros or AFT riders. No disrespect to any other genre of racing, but when you were
You're pretty,
talking more, and I was filtering through all of the people that I still think are rock stars in my own brain.
Yeah. Well, you're
Right.
pretty
For
you're
being
pretty
hooligan
close to
racers.
them all too, right? Like it's
Sure,
I still give a ton of credit to Mark Rusty Butcher.
sure.
Yeah.
I still tell him, I go, you're the ass that started all this shit. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
just
he-
catching up.
And I don't think, again, I think if, again, this is all, I'm not talking bad about Mark. This is a positive. I think he came here, he's got the California mindset. He comes to Milwaukee. Who's Terry Vestal, right? What a fucking asshole winning all the time. But then he meets us Midwest folks, and we're super nice, and we melted the
And
guy.
we've had a blast.
Yeah, we had a great time
They had a
with
great
him, right?
time, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was expecting that California attitude, and
Right.
we just bounced off of that.
Yeah. The Guardado brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else was in
Who is the guy he's a bicycle rider now? He's got his brother. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Ed was right there. Ed was at the first hooligan race too. Ed Subius.
Yeah.
Ed Subius. He's one of the founders. He's the de facto historian of the early hooligan
When they do the
movement.
Netflix documentary, they're going to Ed.
Exactly. We gotta get Ed in here to do the.
We should.
We gotta-
We should.
God, that would be like just put 4 hours of tape on the.
Well, let me go back though, Terry. I don't want to spend a lot of time going back because your story is interesting, but I still want to hear about your formative years. About you said 16 you turned pro,
Scott, you want to hand me a beer?
but
You're hogging them all over there.
when did you get
one? You want
your
a
father
green
was a
one?
racer. Zoom in a little bit on that. How were you in school? How did you go towards being a gearhead
Thank you, sir.
or a dirty fingernails, as I say?
Well, my dad he ran equipment, plus he fixed it. He was a welder.
In Kenosha?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you grew up around a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we were always out in the garage. Always.
You and your brother.
And my dad.
And your dad,
You
yep.
know, and I don't know. It's just, we just fell into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Farm boys? Not farm boys?
No, we were born and raised in the city.
Sure.
So, but just blue-collared workers and
Yeah, a lot of that in Kenosha.
And when did you and Tony become buddies? Tony Giorno from Redline.
oh, he's my cousin. He's
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom and his mom are sisters.
Oh, no
And,
way.
so we
I did not know that.
I didn't
we
either.
never really hung out that much because we're the age difference until God, I don't know. I think when we both started running down to Daytona and going racing, and then we just
When you hurt yourself?
no, this was way back.
Okay.
When you're doing the vintage stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then we just became real tight, and it's been that way ever since. So
Nice.
So
Nice.
how were you in high school?
I was a jock.
Really? You played sports?
I was football, track, wrestling.
Huh.
So
Really?
yeah,
Did you smoke?
not cigarettes. I ain't gonna lie.
Party at the Moon Tower. You
But that's the first place I blew my knee out.
It's football.
Nope, was in wrestling. So then that kind of put me out my senior year because I was actually trying to make my senior year my way into college was through football, And
You were that good.
that kind of took it out the window. So I just became a natural Joe.
Sure. Sure.
Motorcycle racer.
So besides racing, we know that lineage or that story. You graduated high school and you were working in Kenosha.
Yeah.
Where were you at? Where were you
yeah.
at 17, 18, 19?
I was a punk.
Like you had a mohawk?
Oh, no. Oh, God. Back then, 17, 18, I was actually working in cabbage fields.
Picking cabbage.
Yeah, driving tractor, packaging cabbage, and you learn to like that stuff when you're running a tractor.
I'll bet.
So,
I'll bet.
So when you get your first career job, if you will, your first jobby job?
I became a operating engineer down in Illinois. God, I was in there for 22 years.
Just over the border?
Yeah,
You were like for a local or
150. Yeah.
yeah.
You did that for 20 years.
Yep, 22.
You got a pension or something then?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's sitting there. I don't know when I can. I'm not sure when I want to take it yet, but
sure.
I'm hoping I can make it to it.
What do you do besides work and ride motorcycles? Do you have hobbies? You watch TV? What do you do?
I love watching racing on TV.
So it's just you're just
I'll
solely
watch
focused on racing.
football.
All right.
I love watching the antique archaeology.
Sure.
I like that.
Yeah.
So
You got any other hobbies?
no, not really.
No?
No.
You wrench on anything other than bikes? You have like you got other stuff in the garage or just bikes?
Just bikes. I mean, besides my lawnmower and,
Yeah.
and that stuff.
Yeah.
You got that sweet garage.
Yep.
How old is that? Is that the first nice shop that you had?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is the second house that me and Kath bought. And I built that shop in the back, and
That thing's nice.
it's got some heat. And,
Big pole barn?
no, I wish it was a pole barn. It'd be 10 times the size this one is. No, this is a 30 by 50.
It's still big. Is
No,
it
it's
cinder
still big.
or wood stick or
It's framed.
sure.
Yep.
It's great.
got foundation and everything.
Yeah.
It's
It's nice.
house.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Let me go back to you growing up. I got one more question, Terry. Tell us a little bit about your mom.
Oh, my mom?
Yeah.
She's a little sawed-off thing. She's a little fire plug.
Are your parents still alive?
My dad passed, God, I can't even think of the year right now. But,
That's your pops.
So your pops is in here. Yeah.
here's to you.
All right.
But your mom's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And so was your mom working? Did your mom go to the races? What'd your mom think about you racing?
She loves coming with. She gets pissed when I go to a race by myself. But I'm like, there's always friends there, Ma. Don't worry about it. So, but yeah, she's only, I don't know, just over 4 foot tall.
Wow.
So she's a shorty.
That's awesome.
But she's still, what is she, 84 now? Still going every day.
Still active.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
great.
Yep. So
Right
And
on.
was she working growing up?
her biggest place to work was Kentucky Fried.
Okay.
Yep. And I'd ride my bicycle down there on a Friday for a fish dinner. That's when they had fish. So
So that's your mom, because I also know that you're. One thing I know about you too is you're in a great marriage with someone you really love and respect.
yep.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your wife.
Yeah, how long have you and Kath been together?
She's probably going to kill me when she hears this. 22, 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
Close
Been
enough.
married?
You can do round. I mean, you
All
can
right.
round numbers at that
Yeah.
point,
So-
right?
Nice.
But yeah, she used to be a professional dog handler, shower. She had her own dogs,
Oh, really?
and then she got out of that.
Do you guys have a dog now?
No, we got 2 cats,
Oh, really?
2 meatheads. Yeah,
Inside or outside?
inside. Yeah. Love them to death, though.
That's cool.
So-
What kind of dogs did she?
Siberians.
Oh, really? That's
So,
cool.
After she got out of it, and I kind of did my thing. And I'm like, if you want to get back into showing dogs, we'll do it. And I go, we'll do it full time, just like before. Nope, I don't want to do it anymore. All right. And I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
How did you meet her?
Actually, where we used to work, she took care of like all the insurance in the bid contracts.
Okay.
She was I called her a glorified proofreader.
Okay.
And I was a mechanic there. We had a big get together one Friday night at the bar, and I told her she had excellent legs.
At the
and,
employee party. I know it.
and it went from there.
Employee party. Yeah, exactly. That stuff doesn't fly anymore, Terry. Just so
Right
you
next
know.
to the HR lady, dude. She was egging it on.
Nice legs.
That's what I told her.
Yeah.
That's
That was it.
yeah.
I'll try that.
All right.
No,
We hit it off, and it's been that way ever since.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, so let me go a little bit deeper because I see you guys together, and it's so great to have a partner like you do,
Yeah.
and so supportive of your racing. You know, why do you love her so much? I mean, I know that sounds like the way it comes out of my mouth is negative, but what makes her special to you? I think this is an important part of the Terry Vestal history is Kathy. in
Yeah,
your
the
life?
Terry Vestal story, because she
I'll
comes
tell you
to
what,
races
yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Well, she.
Why is she great?
She don't want to come to the races. She will if I drag her. But she seen me get hurt at Pecatonica, and she's like, "You scared the shit out of me. I don't want to watch."
Yeah.
So that's why she stays home.
Yeah.
But no, why? Oh God. Probably the way she takes care of me. I mean, she babies the hell out of me.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
I love it. And I try to give it back, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
because a lot of guys can't believe that your wife makes your lunch every day. I go, packs my lunchbox every day for me. So
No, it's great. And,
That's
and
awesome.
after races, I hear you calling her and letting her know how well you did, and you give a very descript narrative of how your day and race went. And that's
yep, I
important
call
part
her
of
all
your
the time.
routine.
You know, and even after practice, I tell her either it sucked or it was great.
Sure.
Heat race, the same thing. And then if we make a main, I tell her how that went. And
Sure.
she usually knows what I'm going to say by
By your
how
tone.
I answer her.
Yeah.
So either it sucked or
I can tell how you're doing by your body language also.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I may have missed your race, I can see how you did by how you're sitting in the pits.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, I have one more comment in my notes, Terry. I think that you're really important to the hooligan movement. I think you're really important to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to racing. Bold statement, a national treasure.
can I
All right.
can I add a little piece here?
yeah, get after it.
This
Go
is-
ahead.
yeah.
While you're still alive.
I know the museum contacted you,
Yeah.
and when we originally talked to the museum, they were wanting the XG, and it almost was 2 years.
Oh wow.
And I told them, I said, you know, guys, I can't. I go, that's just too much. I go, if you make it 12 months, I go, we'll make shit happen.
Yeah.
And that was like a month and it might even been 2 months ago. This morning at 6:33, I think it said on my phone. They apologized for the delay, but they wanted to know if we'd still be willing to do it.
Oh, good.
Give them my email address, and they'll send me all the particulars. And I sent them back. I said, yes, I'm ready. I'm willing.
Sweet.
To
It'd
put
be
your
an honor.
USG in the.
And so now we're just waiting for all
All
the
right.
particulars.
All right. Cool.
So
breaking
That's
news.
good. All right. All right. I
Hey.
think that's going to be a cool exhibition, and I'm
Yeah.
really, really glad and honored that your bike is going to be in it. So I'm glad because that's kind of, it's not in our hands, and that's not a,
right.
like
I mean, I
cop
know a
out.
few
It's
people
yeah,
over
they're
there,
the,
and
yeah,
that's why
they're
I'm
the
like, God, at least I know who's going to be watching it.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's gonna be great.
So-
They're great. The curators there are
Yeah.
really, really awesome.
They've been pretty great. and
Really cool people.
we're rolling more of that out, and we're gonna really talk it up, and for the whole weekend coming up, you know. So we're super pumped and stoked and honored, really. I mean, it's gonna.
Yeah.
It's
That's
gonna,
the way I am.
That's super cool.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit? I don't.
Well, yeah,
know if
we're
anybody
gonna
knows.
have we're gonna have a Mama Tried Flat Out Friday exhibit at the Harley Davidson Museum.
I don't know if does anybody else know that. Does anybody else? Have we ever said that before?
We've
I
been
don't
talking
know.
a little bit about it.
I don't know if
but
it's been announced yet, and we've just been. It's not like we can't talk about it, but we just haven't. We've been sort of collecting stuff, and it's a lot of work. I mean,
I think
it's
the biggest thing was commitments.
Yeah,
from people.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because it,
So-
people commit to putting bikes in the thing for that long. It's going to be a really long exhibition, which is really cool. So yeah, we get it that it's a big commitment for people to put their stuff in there.
Yeah.
But I think I have a lot of faith in the curators and the kind of exhibition that they're going to put together. So it's a huge honor for all of us.
yeah.
You know, for Mama Tried and Flat Out Friday to be have a spotlight put on it at the Harley Museum, which is arguably one of the best museums in the country is for motorcycles. Whether you're into motorcycles or not,
Yeah.
it's a great museum, and so it's a huge honor for us. So thanks, Terry. That's really cool. I'm glad. I didn't know that there was a hiccup in the plan. I thought it was already a done deal. So
Mm-mm. No, I think it's going to be, well, as soon as I get all the info.
cool.
I'm gonna-
Well, I want to go a little bit deeper, if I can, about praising you. This is a little bit personal, Terry. I mentioned I was just singing your accolades of what you mean to the hooligan movement, but what you mean to me. Here's how the moment came to be articulated of how you meant something to me. When we were at the Flat Out Friday one year, I don't remember what year, but the scoring system had failed, and you still tried to keep it positive. You're like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. And you shook my hand, and I could just tell by the handshake that you gave me that it wasn't cool, that I had kind of disappointed you a little bit. You know, I'm not. That's not a criticism. But my point is, that's really a motivator for me to continue to do quality events, to make sure that my handshake at the end of the night with Terry Vestal is sincere and heavy. Am I going a little bit too deep with that?
No, it's good. I mean, you were asking about his wife, so
No, but I mean, but really, your opinion of what we're doing and your involvement in it means a lot to me. So
it's true. And I was the last. Was it the ASI takeover that we did this year or last year, or both? And you helped out, like, with doing. You were helping out in the corners. You were helping
that was this year.
organize. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was really cool.
So
Yeah, it's because we all know that when you're at the racetrack, your focus is
yeah, and when I'm working at that track, I can't ride.
yeah,
yeah, I hear you.
It's-
I hear you.
yeah. So it's
I tell everybody, I go, if I got to work, I'm not riding.
yeah.
So-
Well, it's much appreciated because all of us giving a little bit back. We've had our chance to go racing and work a little bit more, so
Well-
it's really appreciated.
Someday I'm going to finally quit this shit.
Yeah.
I don't know when. I
I've
said
heard
I was
this-
going
Sure,
to.
I've heard this
Sure,
for
yeah.
5 years, right? For 5 years, you said this
Yeah,
is my
but
last
then I
race.
just pull another one out of my ass.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, all right, I'll keep going.
Well, you're much appreciated.
Yeah. Thanks, Terry.
Yeah. Thanks,
All
Terry.
right, let's hear for Terry Vestal.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
It was a blast.
Well, before we're done, hang on. Before we're done, though, it's important to remember to share this and comment,
Like,
and comment, and hit the
subscribe.
bell.
Comment, hit the bell.
Yeah. You too could sing your praises with your fingers, typing about what you think about Terry Vestal right below this podcast
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Good or bad. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us your
Terry.
Terry Vestal story. Yeah.